Prince Harry and Meghan pull the plug on glittering Invictus Games fundraiser for wounded soldiers due to be shown on Amazon after signing a £112 million deal with rivals Netflix. So basically, this is to be aired in June 2021. It's got Beyonce, it's got Ed Sheeran, it's got Bon Jovi, it's got comedy shows. And they arranged with Amazon, Harry and Meghan arranged with Amazon to stream it. And then after that, they signed with Netflix, and Netflix is the rival of Amazon. So they had to cancel this deal. They're not going to show up to the Invictus fundraiser, and they canceled the fundraiser. Wow. Okay, that's a huge blow to Invictus. I'm wondering if, obviously, Harry is interchangeable with other celebrities. I mean, he's been the face of Invictus, but they can find another celebrity to be the front guy and the keynote speaker, because they need to do this to raise funding. So is this going to kick Harry out? Prince Harry is planning to use the Invictus Games to qualify for a key tax loophole. This is kind of speculation, but basically, Harry doesn't want to pay U.S. taxes. He's already paying British taxes, which are extremely high, much higher than United States taxes, and he moved to California, which is the highest tax rate state in the United States, by far, I think. And I don't know if you've bought gas in California. It's at least $1 higher than if you just cross over to Arizona and buy gas. Why? That dollar is entirely taxes. They are taxing you to death in California. Why? Because they have the largest homeless population and they have an open border. 55% of the homeless people in the United States reside in California. And if you take the entire West Coast, I think that number raises to like 65 or 70% of all homeless people in the United States are on the West Coast. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's breaking the system. So anyway, that's a big deal, this O visa. Then he won't have to pay U.S. taxes. Okay, but the other thing is he can only stay in the United States for 183 days. Okay, here it is. If Harry were to reside in the U.S. for 183 days, which is 6 months and 3 days, this would raise the presumption for him to be considered a U.S. person for tax purposes. That day is actually fast approaching. As it was first reported, he had moved to the U.S. 155 days ago and has not been out of the country since. We know that Harry's planning to take a long break and go back to the UK very soon. Immigration and tax expert David Lesperance told Express UK that Harry is unlikely to be in the U.S. on a green card because this would automatically make him a U.S. person for tax purposes. And if he takes a green card, if he gets citizenship, he has to give up his royal titles. Really, what else can this poor man lose? And I really think that Invictus is now on the chopping block for him. His whole life is just being flushed down the toilet. Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel. Time for a spot of royalty. Will the Invictus Games drop Prince Harry? This is him. This is really all he has left. I mean, he lost all of his military titles. He's lost everything. So what? It's viable that they could. I also want to look at, was this planned from the beginning? Because Harry can't live in California. And I'm beginning to think that maybe from the moment they left Canada and went to California, the separation was already on. So we're going to take a look at that. Will the Invictus Games drop Harry? Oh boy. Oh boy, look at that. All right, because this is just business. I mean, they can find another face to represent them. Yes, Harry started it, but replace him. And this happens all the time, where the founders of companies, they say something that the wokerati don't like, and then the founders of the companies get kicked out of their own company. And the reason for that is because the founders of companies are not people who play safe. They're generally men with big ideas and huge character, and they take huge risks, and they win big because they take such huge risks. And these are not always the people that you want saying the words for the special people who get offended so easily. Okay, so Hightower, it's official, it's business decision. Cutting, we have the executioner, and we have the relationship has soured, and they want to cut him from the business. They want to cut him out of the business model. He's now a liability. 22-28, yeah, they are secretly talking about cutting out Harry. Full stop. Everyone needs to work together. We have the breaking up and divorce card here. We have player, it's just business. They're 9 hearts, 7 diamonds, finger of God. The key is they can just bring someone else in from the outside to do this job. They need to react to this. They're going to react by getting rid of Harry. They're thinking about getting rid of Harry. They're absolutely. And right here, the executioner is, he cuts the head off. They're officially thinking about cutting this bad relationship with Harry. Wow. I did not realize it would be that strong. But let's take a look at Invictus and Harry. Let's see how the relationship is. Because Harry is the founder of the Invictus games, so that's kind of a big deal. But you do see, like, what's his name? Harvey Weinstein. Okay, he was cut from his own agency. Harvey Weinstein ran the Harvey Weinstein Agency. Okay, it was named after him. He ran it. He started it. He founded it. He was the guy. He was the name. And now we know all the crazy business going on with him. So let's look at Invictus and Harry, the relationship. See, Invictus and Harry. Because ultimately the organization and its purpose needs to be bigger than any one person or even the founder, which is Harry. So what's on Harry's side? Very close. Really, this is something that is deeply connected to his heart. 8 and 7, 15, 8 and 7, 15, 4 clubs. He loves being involved with it. Okay, but he's having a lot of secrets here. Okay, there's a lot that Harry is not telling the Invictus folks. So he really loves, this is very, very important to him, very close to his heart, but he's holding a lot of secrets from them, which I think is the terrible relationship with Meghan and all the stuff that's going to proceed from that. And that's going to be several years of a lot of pain. What do we have here? We have cross, permanent relationship, water, constantly renewing, transforming the permanent structure. And cross is also the spine. 15 and 3, 18, 5 diamonds, moving forward, transforming the spine of the relationships, of the organization, transforming the root, the essence of the Invictus games through hard work, Scourge through hard work. Over the long term, this way, okay, they're just looking at Harry as part of the organization, and they're just seeing huge blockages going forward. Maybe they can't really go forward with Harry anymore. So they're actually discussing, this is more cold-hearted than I realized. They are definitely discussing cutting Harry out. Harry is expendable. Harry is definitely expendable. So Harry is asking for this O visa. And the basis of that would probably be his leadership of the Invictus Games, which it really looks like he's going to lose. He's going to lose his headship of the Invictus Games. He's becoming a liability. But this doesn't solve the 180-day problem. Okay, he can only stay in the United States for 183 days. He's got about 30 more days to go in the United States, and then he has to leave for 6 months. How do you live in the United States only 6 months a year? Well, you're not really living here, and that's, because if you're physically present in the United States more than 6 months a year, you're a resident and you have to pay taxes. Okay, and that's pretty much any country. So, will Harry get this O visa? We'll just call it the Oprah visa for extraordinary ability. And let's see if he'll get this. Will he get this O visa? Because, I'm a CPA. I kind of understand these kind of tax things. I didn't do taxes for a living. I didn't do taxes for a living, but I have a pretty good understanding of what's going on there. And I obviously don't, well, that's not obvious, but I don't believe anyone owes the tax man any more than they can get away with not paying them. And it's just wise to handle your taxes as shrewdly as possible. And I don't I think it is criminal. They went into like those Swiss accounts. They made them reveal all the Swiss accounts. I'm really against that because that violates a country's sovereignty. And I think it's very healthy to have places like Switzerland and the new places like Panama and some of these other island nations. I think it's very healthy for an economy to do that. And people complain, that they're not paying taxes. No, they're not paying taxes. And the government should not control everything. And that is one area where the government doesn't control everything. These privacy havens. So that's actually very good. And the whole Bitcoin thing, that's for the same reason. That's for the same purpose, to take it out of the hands of government, the monetary system. So every little bit helps. Okay, so is Harry going to get this O visa? Very solid foundation. Honest man, solid foundation. There's more than one way to do this. Okay, he has several options for reducing or eliminating his tax liability. Okay, and people are speculating right now that it's the O visa. But if the O visa doesn't work, they've got something else in their pocket and it's going to work out. Okay, that's what I see going on here. 922, 6 diamonds. There's a lot of people working on this. I'm sure Harry is not a tax expert, so it's other people. Thank God sometimes they listen to their advisors, and these are advisors that they're listening to. What's underneath? Cutting activity with the woman or living in this place. It's cutting living in this place. Angel and Fox acting very wisely and giving an appearance of innocence, or this could be Archie. So queens are very situational. So again, he has to not be here. Basically 6 months a year he can't be in the country. That's not living here. Okay, so that house is for Meghan. How much you want to bet Meghan is going to live in that house 365 days a year, and Harry is only going to be in that house 180 days a year or less? Is that a marriage? He's not living in the United States. So what is coming to my mind is from the moment they left Canada and moved back to California, it was already decided that they were divorcing. And what I've been saying, that house is Meghan's divorce house. Okay, but I looked at that and they did buy it on the up and up in both of their names. Okay, and they did that so they could split the property and give Meghan the house. That's part of the dividing property. Yeah, you can't divide property that is already her property. Okay, so was the separation divorce planned from the moment before they moved to California. Because I see a lot of conflict between them. Look at that. We have the two big change cards. Was the separation and divorce already planned before they moved to California? Because I was like, oh yeah, I knew Meghan was going back to California. Okay, so transformation, big change in transformation and opportunity for Ace of Spades. Cutting. Opportunity to cut and big change in transformation. So yeah, it smelled to me right on the surface. It smelled to me from the beginning. Like when they hit California, I'm like, this is not for Harry, it's all for Meghan. And I'm right, it's all for Meghan. What do we have underneath? Putting a sweet face on it, the foundation, the rooting between them, it ended in disaster. Okay, royal family and the world. Keeping a sweet face on the royal family for the whole world because the rooting, the marriage, the rooting ended in disaster. It ended disastrously. So their marriage was already over before they moved to California. Okay, and all that we've been seeing, that's why it's the Meghan show. That's why everything is for Meghan. Everything that we've seen in California is building the life for Meghan. So a lot of people think she has really great blackmail on them. And maybe she does, because they didn't take care of Fergie this way. They didn't take care of Diana this way. But Meghan is really a hustler. She's always looking for her next thing. And she's very clearly doing that. And the Netflix deal, that is a huge score. That's a huge score. And I think the Netflix deal, I don't know if when they separate and divorce, if they'll be able to keep that together or if it will just be given entirely to Meghan. Because that's definitely Meghan's kind of bailiwick. So, or Harry, I don't know if he'll produce films. I mean, that's a really good opportunity if he can do it, if he can be a producer. There's a lot of power in that. And that could benefit the royal family. Although everything they seem to be doing does not seem to benefit the royal family at this point. All right, so let's review. Are the Invictus Games looking at cutting Harry? Yeah, right here. They are officially looking at cutting off this bad relationship, putting a stop to it, reacting to this circumstance by cutting it off, and just finding someone else. They can literally just find someone else. This is a huge blow to them. They need money to survive. He just took a huge millions of dollars out of their coffers that they need to continue to do their work. Okay, and if it's not Harry, and they had all these people lined up. They had Beyonce and Ed Sheeran. These people will probably still do it. Why not? Because it's not just for Harry. It's for the Invictus Games. So they'll just get another figurehead. It's like, it's like who's going to host the Academy Awards or whatever. The Academy Awards. They just switch them out. Sometimes it's this person. Sometimes it's that person. But the Academy Awards continues on. So how is the relationship between Invictus and Harry? Harry, this is really close to his heart. And this is like a marriage. It's like a marriage. I mean, it's like a marriage. But they are transforming as they go through hard work. And they've reached a real roadblock with Harry. Will Harry get the O visa? Probably, but it doesn't matter because he's got other ways to avoid the taxes. There's more than one way for Harry to avoid being taxed as a U.S. citizen because he's not a U.S. citizen at this time. He hasn't applied for citizenship, which is a good thing for him because the U.S. taxes your worldwide income forever, in perpetuity. And they're very suspicious if you try to give up your citizenship at any point. So they never want to stop taxing you. So he's already a citizen of England. Why would he pay U.S. taxes? And I do understand the laws there. And I don't think he should pay U.S. taxes. So let's see here. Underneath, with the O visa, he's going to act very innocent. It's about the situation and not being in the situation. I think he has to leave after 180 days, which says to me he's not this. It's all the separation was planned from the beginning. Was the separation and divorce planned from the beginning? Yeah, this is the opportunity to cut it. All the big change cards, keeping a sweet face on it for the royal family, and because of the disastrous marriage. So it makes me think that Meghan must have some really good dirt on the royals, but it would have come out in Finding Freedom. So I don't know. Maybe Meghan is just really good at hustling for herself because they're making it work. That Netflix deal is a big deal, and that's going to put a lot of money in their pockets. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Many thanks to the generous folks who bought me a cup of tea. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe,